Hey friends, welcome to Harvesting. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can create a package and publish it to NPM. So this is a very simple process, not much difficult. We create the package.json file, which has a lot of information other than normal projects that you create. Then you have to create an NPM account, and then you go ahead and publish your package. I'll also be showing you how you can publish this to GitHub, which is not a really important part in this, but it's also a good habit to do. And also at the end, we'll be testing this package by installing it from NPM. So before we start, make sure you like the video, share it with your friends if you find this video helpful, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and so let's get started. So to get started, I've opened up VS Code and I've got a new folder opened up in here. And also before we start, you'll need a few things. You'll need an NPM account so that you can publish packages to NPM, and also GitHub account would be nice because in this video I'm going to push it to GitHub also. So according to what we are going to be doing, it's very simple. It's just a small package which helps us to generate random numbers. We'll be publishing this to NPM and we'll be able to download it from other projects also. So to get started, we'll have to create our package.json file, which we always do when we create new Node.js projects, right? So for doing that in here, we just run the same command, npm init, hit enter. It's going to ask you a few questions and you can go ahead and answer them. Now first we have to answer the package name, which in my case is this random num. So if you want to make sure that your package is not used, the name should be unique across all packages in NPM. So if I search for random num, which is what I named mine, you can see there's no results, which means my name is not there for any other package, so I can use it. But in case you already have it and you want to use the same name, you can just give your username. So you can do this / like that. So if you do like this, you'll be able to use it properly. So it doesn't matter, it's up to you. You can create your name, but it should be unique across all packages in NPM. So now we can go ahead and give a version number. I just like to keep it at 0.0.1. It's up to you actually. You can keep it whatever you want. And whenever we're going to make a new version, we just have to change it before we publish. Next, description. I'm going to keep it simple again. A utility which helps to generate random numbers. Hit enter. Entry point. Now this is also an important thing. So when we're going to install our package, this just tells which is the main file. So you might have seen it in the package.json, we have a main field. So this entry point is what that is. So I'm going to make an index.js, leave it as the default. And the test command, we can leave it as default, is just used for testing. In case you want to test your package, which is a good practice, you can go ahead and do that also. Git repository. Now this is something I'll be doing. I'm gonna go ahead, I've created this GitHub repository in here. I'm just gonna copy that URL and paste it. So keywords. Now keywords is also very important if you want your package to get more downloads. It's like when we search in NPM for packages, this helps us to get more results, our package to be found in the search. So for doing that, you can give any keywords. I'm just going to give random number, random. You can do whatever you want. Depends on what package you're making. Next, author. So I'm just going to give my name in here. Hit enter. License. This is also up to you. You can choose what kind of license you want. You can go search for licenses, different types of them. I'm going to be using the MIT license, but it's up to you what you want to use. Hit enter. Is this okay? Yes. And you can see that it filled up all these things. So if I open up my package.json in here, everything got filled. The name, version, description, the main file, the scripts. Seems like there's no scripts in here. We don't need them, so I'm just gonna remove those scripts. The repository which we gave, so it automatically filled this for me with the type of Git and the URL to my Git repository. Then the keyword, the author, the license, and the bugs URL. This is also something that's very nice. It just fills it automatically. It's just the issues. So if you go here, you can see there's an issues tab in GitHub. It's the same thing. It just got linked up in our package.json. And this is the home page. So if your framework or library, if it has some kind of website, then you can go ahead and give a link to that here. In my case, I don't have any, but it's linking directly to my README file. So now let's just close that and start creating this. So I'm just going to create a new file and name it index.js. This is where all the logic of this library or framework, it's not a framework actually, it's just a package or library, is going to go. So it's just going to be a function which returns not two, let's make it one random number between two numbers. And oops, and seems like GitHub Copilot is helping me. Oh, that's kind of nice. So it just generated all the code for me. I don't have to do anything. So that's it. But we want the users to be able to use this function. Of course, in here you're going to be giving what you want to use for your library. For me, this is just this simple library which generates a random number. You give a min and a max value. So for the users to be able to use this, we need to give an export in here, so that we'll be able to import this in our project. So this is very simple, just returns this function. And that's actually the part where I'm building my library. This is very small, I know, but it's up to you. When you're making some kind of big projects, then you'll have to give big code files, big functionality. But this is just so simple for now. And let's go ahead and see how we can publish this to NPM. So for doing that, the first thing that you'll need to do is to log into NPM. So you'll have the NPM command accessible, right? It's because you just ran NPM init. And in case you got an error, that's because you don't have Node.js installed. So you can run npm login, hit enter, and give the username. So this is my username, enter in my password. It may not show up, but it's gonna give my email, hit enter, and you can see logged in as Nasilnias on registry.npmjs.org. That's very simple, right? You just go ahead and log into the CLI. So now we'll be able to publish this. You can run the command npm publish from the command line, hit enter, and you see all these, right? It's publishing rando num at version 0.0.1, and just publish it. So in npm you can search for rando num, hit enter, and let's wait for the results. Seems like it's taking some time. And you can see it loaded. So random number, I know this is kind of wrong. I misspelled it, but that's not a problem. You can see everything. This package is not added readme. We'll add it later on. And you can see the npm install rando num, and give the link to our GitHub repository, which I linked up in the package.json, the size of it, the number of files, the license, everything is here. So now I just want to push this to GitHub really quickly. So I'm just going to go here, go there, initialize a repository, commit it, and then I'm going to add a remote. This is just basic Git stuff. So in case you don't know about Git, I have an entire tutorial on that. So you can go ahead and see that. Tech harvesting / paste that, origin, hit enter, and then so now if I go back here, you can see that it's updated. So I have added the code to GitHub, and if I was to go back, click on this URL, it takes me here. Now I just wanted to add a readme, though this is not a big project or anything. Just for some information, you can add a readme file, readme.md, and md stands for markdown. So this is just like a documentation file, if you want to call it. You can add HTML kind of elements in here. So if you give a hashtag and give some space and give some text, it will appear as big text. So rando num generate random numbers between any numbers. And I had forgot about the typos. So in here I have a random number. Okay, so that's a simple readme. I don't know why I did that, but anyways. And I'll go to the GitHub desktop, and let's just go ahead and push it again. So you can see it came in here. It just took me a few seconds. I had to push the changes. So you can see the readme is added and it's displayed here. And if I were to return to npm and reload the page in here too, it should actually update if I were to push it once again. So let's create a new version in here. It's going to be 0.0.2 with the readme, and I'm once again going to run npm publish. So it'll add all my files. Readme.md is also now going to be there, as you saw. In my previous command, I didn't have the readme, so only these two files were pushed. So if I were to reload right now, it might take a few seconds to upload. Just reload a couple of times and keep reloading, and it's taking a lot of time. And there you go. You can see that it's updated and version 0.0.2, and everything is still working fine. So that's how we can publish our package to NPM. So I went ahead and created this new folder called random-testing. I'm just going to test out this package. So for doing that, I'm just going to create a new file, test-random.js, and let's add our package. So npm init-y. It's not so important to fill in the details, we're just installing the package, right? And now I'm just gonna go ahead and run npm install, or in copy this command, that's much better, and paste that, hit enter. It should install the latest version of our package. Okay, and now we can just const equals require, and we can see random in here. And if you go here, we can see this get random int, which is our function. So now if I want to go ahead and run console.log get random int, let's make it 100. So it'll just log out a random number. So we're just testing a package, okay? Just a sample tested package. So let's go ahead and do node testing-random.js. So I had actually made a mistake before when I wrote the export function. You might have seen the annotation on the screen, and I had to change it a bit to module.exports. So if you want, you can go ahead and refer the code on GitHub. I have linked it down below. But anyways, I reinstalled my package at the new version that I published just now, 0.0.3, as you can see, and I made the small change. So I'm back here. Once I ran that install command, I can just do node testing-random.js, and you can see we got a random number between 1 and 100. And each time we run, we're going to get different numbers, as you can see. So that was actually it for this video. Just wanted to show you how you can create a simple package and publish it to NPM, and also we published it to GitHub, which is not so important, but it's also a good habit to do. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't, as I told in the beginning, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.